Welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I am working on Scraplift Crafternoon. This week my tribe and I are scraplifting Lori, and I will have her Instagram down below listed so that you can go to Instagram and leave her some much deserved love. She is an amazing scrapbooker. She's also a friend of mine and a fellow design team member over at Counterfeit Kit Challenge blog. And I am using my October kit to complete this layout, and I have pulled in some products. I've done a fairly decent job of pre-picking stuff to make the scrap lift a little bit easier so I'm not digging through things. I did have to add some doilies because I didn't have any doilies in my kit. She had something in the center of her doilies, and I'm going to put a die cut in the center of them with this. I'm going to change out her ribbon for this Tim Holtz film strip ribbon. And I brought in, I don't know if you guys remember these. These are super old. Like, this is dated 2009. And I used this for die cutting. It is adhesive back, but it is so old that adhesive probably will no longer work. If it does on this, that'll be great. But I pulled 3 sheets of blue, kind of pulling in the blue from my plaid. I'm going to pause. We're going to get started, and I will be right back. So I went ahead and I did all of the die cutting and cutting off camera. The plaid I cut into 4 1/4 by 10-inch strips, and I am only going to be scuffing up 3 edges, one long, both shorts. And that's because there is going to be a piece of pattern paper right in the middle, and I didn't want to use the whole piece of plaid. I could have just cut off an inch from 2 sides and called it good, but I didn't. I wanted to save some of that plaid for another layout. I really, really love this plaid. It is so pretty. And it came from the inspiration kit that we used this month over at Counterfeit Kit Challenge blog. It is one of the digital papers that I printed with my wide format printer. I love printing the paper myself. That way I can decide how thick I want the paper, and I am using my 110-pound white cardstock from Joann's to print this paper. For the embellishments that I print, I am using a cheaper cardstock, and I'm printing it with my regular printer, my HP printer, and using my Cameo to cut those out. So this piece of paper that's going in the middle has a very subtle print. I actually put this paper in my counterfeit kit this month for the reverse side, the beautiful blue floral. But for this layout, I wanted to kind of mimic what Lori did with her layout. So I used this side. It was a scrap. I had already dug into this pattern paper. I am going to be using 2 photos, and I have cut them down, and I have matted them on a very light peach polka dot. I know that it's kind of washed out, but I think that you can see it in the close-ups at the end of the video. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut 2 12-ish inch strips of this film strip out, and then I'm going to shut the camera off for a minute because I cannot find my tiny attacher. Could not remember where I put it when I unpacked during our move. Crazy! Alright, so I went ahead and attached this with my tiny attacher. I am going to put just a crisscross, an X, on the sides that you can see. On the one that is underneath my doily in viewfinder, I just stapled it once because you're not going to see it. And funny story, the tiny attacher was in the drawer right underneath my left hand, but I could not remember where I put it. That's crazy, but I'm still doing that all over the house. Okay, it was in the other house here. Where is it here? I'm doing that with everything, not just scrapbooking supplies. So I've got the doilies and the viewfinders are all glued down. I had pre-pulled off this little tile letters for my title that says fall is my favorite, because that is true. I had decorated my living room up for fall in September of 2016, and so I took pictures because I thought it was just so pretty. And now I'm just going to start tucking things and adding things. I don't have enough leaves, I don't feel, so I'm going to put in some of the gold leaves so they're kind of peeking behind the die cut leaves. And I wish that they stood out a little bit more than they do, but it is what it is. I know that Lori tucked hers, I think, underneath her trim on her layout, and I did not do that. I just kind of make it butt up to that film strip thing. And I'm doing quite a bit of these leaves. I think I use almost all of them on this layout, which is good because I've been putting these in the last 2 counterfeit kits, so I'm very glad to have gotten rid of most, if not all of them. I think I use almost all of them in the end. I am putting things a little bit different in different places. I didn't have little acorns like Lori had for hers in my kit, but I am, like I said, I'm using the leaves and I'm using a few phrases. I added a label for journaling. She journaled on one of her doilies, the circle that she put in the center of her doily, which was really cute, but I just added a label. And I'm just adding the leaves to all of the doily. Those basically become a base for my embellishment clusters. And I add a couple of phrases in different places as well. And I'm not going to end up using those little wood heart things on the side. All right, I got my layout completely finished. I'm quite happy with how this turned out. I am pleased with using my counterfeit kit for October for this layout. I have really enjoyed the kit that I put together this month, and I did create a rather large kit, so I have quite a bit left. And so I'm going to leave it in the iris box for me to dig through as I come across other pictures that will go with my kit. I want to thank you for coming to my channel today. I really appreciate all of you who are here. If you are new to my channel, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Just click that button down there that says subscribe, and if you want YouTube to notify you when I put out new content, there is a bell for you to click, and they will, I believe, notify you via email when I have put out new content. Make sure you check out that playlist to see what the rest of my Scraplift Crafternoon tribe has put out. We are all scraplifting the same layout, so you'll get to see different takes on Lori's layout, and I'm sure that you will be amazed because we're all a pretty creative bunch of people, and I think we're kind of fun and pretty amazing. I might be biased since it's my team, but I am very appreciative of them and how hard they work to keep this hop going. You guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.